Hi guys, welcome to the Endgame Fundamental series where we are activating the king in an endgame. So this is against the 3200, the maximum chess.com bot. This is a 3-on-3 pawn position, but we are better because we have the more active king. So here, my first thought is taking opposition, which is normally good, to stop them coming in and winning this pawn. But it is a little bit passive, like we could also get aggressive. So if we calculate the aggressive line, if here, takes back, push, we are promoting first. So I think we can just go in with the king and get aggressive and say go for my pawn here. Okay, so they go back, which sort of validates that decision. So if here, I'm not sure. We could go after the base of their pawn structure like this. And then they have to get super passive. If this, their king can maybe come here, but then I go here and win the pawn. So their king would have to go like this. Then I can put them in opposition. I'm going to try that. Trade off these pawns. Okay, so if this... They're going to try and come around and win the pawn. If this, they cannot defend the pawn anymore. If here, oh no, they'd go here. Then I'll have to come back. I think I can get back in time and escort this pawn. Okay, so now it's just a race, and we are quicker, right? So this just shows the power of king activity in endgame, guys. And it comes back to whoever makes that first king move. Whoever realizes they're in the endgame, and the king is now powerful first. Whoever realizes that will make that first king move towards the center and thus cut off the other king. So in this position, it's actually still a bit tricky to win. You've got to give a check, and then this is how you win this endgame, guys. It's a bit awkward. You've got to keep giving checks until you can get close enough to threaten to win. So we're just stepping closer and closer until you can get close enough to threaten to win the pawn. So now we'll get super close. This pawn is still pinned. And then you give this check. They have to block the pawn, but they go there. So if this check now. And then you've got to keep checking them until they get the king in front of the pawn. So like this. They're going to go back here. This check. Then they have to step here, right? That's the check. That is the one, guys. You find that which attacks the king and the pawn at the same time. And then once they step in front of the pawn, you bring the king. And then here, you've just got to repeat and keep checking them until they go back to that position. So like... Wait, if we go here, they can push the pawn. We don't want to allow that. So we can pin the pawn to the king here. I think is the best move. And then here we threaten to win the pawn. And they have to... No. Did we mess up? Here, there we go. Right, bang. They've got to go in front of the pawn. And again, we can start to bring the king. So it's a little bit of a faff, admittedly. Here we put them in a pin. And then check. And at some point, they're going to have to... So like here, we can go like this, but they can come here. Again, we can pin. So we can bring the king now because the pawn is pinned, right? And now we can get the queen here. And just, yeah, now we can just bring the king. So that it's a little bit tricky that when the pawn's about to promote, guys. But especially under like time pressure, but you just got to relax and... yeah, so that's how you do it, guys. I think most of you know how to mate with king and queen, so I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed that drill, just showing the power of the king in the end game. Who can get their king to the center first? You've got to be that one. You've got to be the guy that starts to control the center here. And you'll be very happy, guys. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.